This is my video over cellular respiration. I made this little table that compares aerobic and anaerobic respiration. Cellular respiration is processes that happen in a cell that take energy and turn it into ATP so that cells can use it. Looking at anaerobic and aerobic, aerobic obviously requires oxygen while anaerobic does not. Aerobic happens in the mitochondria, while anaerobic happens in the cytoplasm. Aerobic occurs in 3 steps, which would be glycolysis, the Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain, while anaerobic just occurs in 2 steps, which is glycolysis and fermentation. And then an example of aerobic respiration would be like long distance running, jumping, and anaerobic would be more like weightlifting. Looking at the steps of these, both anaerobic and aerobic respiration start out with glycolysis. So glycolysis is the breakdown of glucose. So glucose is turned into 2-pyruvate, and during that reaction you also get 2-NADH and 2-ATP. And then this is where it splits into the 2 different aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic requires oxygen. So the second step of aerobic respiration is the Krebs cycle. But before you get to the Krebs cycle, a bunch of processes are done and you end with 2 acetyl-CoA. The Krebs cycle is done twice because you have to do each one separately. So during the Krebs cycle, the acetyl-CoA is broken down and you end with a gain of 2 ATP. But while that is happening, you also get 2 FADH, some carbon dioxide, and NADH. And then you make it down to the 3rd step, which is the electron transport chain. During the electron transport chain, the stored energy that was in the NADH and the FADH is turned into ATP, or usable energy. So the electron transport chain makes a total of 32 ATP. So for aerobic respiration, a total of 38 ATP is made. And then looking back up at the anaerobic side, which is no oxygen, it's only 2 steps, so it goes from glycolysis to fermentation, and in this case we're talking about lactic acid fermentation, where the 2-pyruvate right here are made into lactate, which are then made into lactic acid, which is what causes poor muscle contraction. So the total amount for anaerobic respiration would be 2 ATP are made. And the last question, why do we need oxygen, is because our cells need energy.